What's up everybody, Lucas here. Welcome back to another review on my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Anthony Edwards 1. They retail for 120 euros or dollars. I got my pair from Kicks. You can see the logo right here. I'll try and leave an affiliate link in the description for you guys to cop them for minus 10% with my link. With that being said, let's get straight into performance. And I know it's early in the year 2024. It's not even a whole month that's passed or close to a whole month. But from what I've seen so far and from what I've played in these could very well be the best shoe out of 2024. It's for sure going to be in contention. I know there's going to be a lot of nice releases later in the year. We also have another strong contender right here, the GT Cut 3. That's really nice. Kobe's are going to be released. We're going to see the Way of Wade 11. The 10s were one of the best shoes of all time, if not even the best shoe. So it's going to be hard for the AE 1. But so far, it's my favorite shoe to playing alongside the GT Cut 3, as they feel absolutely freaking amazing. And here's why. Starting off with the traction performance, minimal dust pickup, and really good performance. For the pattern, we have a traditional herringbone pattern with some V shapes here. I think you can see them through the video as well. A lot of V shapes all over the outsole, and the pattern grips the court insanely well. Probably the best traction setup I've tried this year so far. They are almost as good or perform as good as the flow setup of the Curry line. And as I said, freaking amazing traction performance, also with a loud, high-pitched squeak. If you're playing on clean courts, these are definitely going to be a 10 out of 10. If you're playing on dusty courts, you'll need to wipe from time to time. But let's be honest, every basketball player does that anyways, even if the court is clean. So that shouldn't be an issue for you. For the durability, the rubber is rather soft and easy to move, and the grooves are also not that thick. So I wouldn't recommend these for outdoor use, but durability on indoor courts shouldn't be an issue, and you should be good to go on clean and dusty indoor courts. Moving on to the cushioning setup, that's where it actually gets a little bit confusing with the Anthony Edwards 1. I hadn't even noticed that. Thanks and shout out to Sammy from the Soul Drop for pointing that out, and also shout out to Foot Dr. Zach for cutting open the shoes. I could personally never do that because I love my shoes way too much for that, but it's really helpful and insightful to watch his videos to see what's actually inside the shoe. So make sure to check out Foot Dr. Zach and Sammy from the Soul Drop, because Sammy pointed out that on Adidas's website it says that Jet Boost is used in the midsole, which is also what I thought is used in the shoe. But then on Foot Locker or other retailers, we actually see that they say we have a layer of boost and a layer of light strike. So similar to what we saw in the Harden 7, and Jet Boost would have been similar to what is implemented in the Harden Volume 8. However, as I said, Foot Dr. Zach also cut them open, and there you could see that there's a layer of boost and light strike. If the information here is not correct, I'm sorry, but there's just no way of finding out correctly. Very confusing at the moment to see actually what kind of cushioning setup is in there. But how does it feel? It feels absolutely amazing. One of my favorite setups so far. It feels better than the Harden 7s, and in my opinion, I've played with the 8s a little bit already as well. It feels also better than the Harden Volume 8 setup. I don't know if Jet Boost needs more break-in, but this combination in the AA1 is absolutely amazing for stepping comfort and for comfort while playing. The heel area especially is really soft, even though it's caged, and also here in the back there's this plastic material around, which we're going to get to when we're talking about the materials overall of the shoe. Even though it's caged, it's really soft. There's a lot of compression, and also in the forefoot it's not as thick as in the heel and not as comfy, but in my opinion it's great setup for guards, even for explosive guards. Impact protection isn't top tier, so if you're a heavier dude, it could be that you feel the cord through the midsole as well. But if you're a guard or a wing player, you should be really enjoying playing with the Anthony Edwards 1, just from a cushioning setup standpoint, and in my opinion also from an overall standpoint. Moving on to the support of the shoe, also absolutely freaking amazing. You can tell by how I talk about the shoe that I really love playing them. My foot wasn't going anywhere. The lacing system as well as the materials keep it on the footbed, no issues whatsoever. I didn't feel like my foot was moving out over the shoe only one time. So that was really enjoyable, and I felt safe and secure the whole time. We have an external heel counter. I thought that it's carbon fiber, but it also could be just a harder or thicker plastic material. Kind of looks like carbon fiber. I think they chose to design in that way so that to get people to think that it's carbon fiber, but it's external, so it doesn't really do that much anyways. If it's carbon fiber or just a harder plastic, it keeps your heel locked in. And as I mentioned, the lacing system really does a nice job. And in addition, we also have a kind of X-formed shank plate, which Adidas likes to do. They did it on some hardened shoes in the past, and the semi-translucent rubber compound here, you can see it through, also see it through the little holes here, and it works very well. So they do flex, but you get a good rebound out of them. I don't know if you can see it that well here on the video now, but it gives you a decent rebound, especially when running. When you put more force into it, it feels very nice. You know that I usually don't like forefoot flex as much, so this is already like a critical point for me for forefoot flex. But because the lateral stability is so good, I didn't have any issues with the support of the AE1, and I felt safe and secure. Technically, it looks like a high top, but the material up here, the textile material, is really, really soft, so it doesn't really provide any support. It's just an extra layer around your ankle. So I would rather say these are kind of a mid-top, just from the support features that they have, because the material that goes up here, as I said, is really soft and it moves a lot, so it doesn't do as much, apart from being another layer around your foot. We also have a lot going on just from a technical standpoint for the materials, as we have kind of three different setups. We have this textile upper here, then we have kind of a suede upper. I'm not really sure how to call it. It's also like a plastic overlay, but it feels different than the rest of the plastic material that's used on the upper. So I'm not entirely sure how to call it. It feels very nice, and it's only here in this area, so very, very small area only. And then all around the shoe, we have this plastic, kind of honeycomb looking whole upper. And the design, I think the shoe is a very controversial shoe from a design standpoint. Either you hate them or you love them. I personally love the design. I love the futuristic look that Adidas has been choosing with, starting with the Harden 7 and moving also on with the Dawn issue 5 and now also the Harden volume 8 and of course the Anthony Edwards 1. So I'm a big fan of that. I like the materials here. And underneath this plastic overlay, we also have another layer of a kind of mesh or synthetic textile upper. So even though breathability should be really good, like if you try to blow some air through it, and you put your hands here, there's not really much coming through. You get through the holes in the upper, but you don't really get through this textile material here. So even though it looks very breathable, it is not as breathable as I thought it would be. As breathability was also a big issue on the Harden 7, I thought maybe they fixed it in that way, but it's rather average, so it's not really a lot of airflow in this shoe. Just from a feeling standpoint, the materials feel absolutely amazing. I'm gonna say it once more. I know I've been saying amazing a lot for this video, but that's just how I feel about this shoe. And another amazing thing, in my opinion, is you get a lot of tech, you get a lot of nice and premium feeling materials. Even though it's a plastic, it doesn't feel cheap at all for just 120 euros. And that's just a great, great price for a first signature shoe that's performing really well. Something else I have to add to the materials is that if you like to keep your shoes clean, these are probably not for you. Not only because that's a white colorway that I have here, it's a Stormtrooper colorway if you were wondering how they're called, but especially this part where I'm not sure how to call the material, you get like, I don't know, I don't think you can see it that well on camera, but you get like stains and stripes from other people stepping on your shoe or from toe drags really easily on here. I tried to clean it as well, but you also see here the white material is turning yellow a little bit, and also here on the inside of your foot. So if you like to keep your shoes clean, these are probably not the best option for you. If you don't mind that, these are a great option. Now for the weight of the shoe, they are really heavy, just like the Harden 7s. They come in at 634 grams, which equals 22.3 ounces. You do need to keep in mind that this is a size 14, so they are going to be heavier than what other reviewers are going to be saying about those shoes. So just keep in mind size 14, but they are still pretty heavy and also a little bit bottom heavy, as there's a lot going on the outsole. And just by holding them like this, I feel like this part up here doesn't really put a lot of weight into the shoe, but we have the condensed cushioning setup as well as the plastic materials that go around here, the outsole and midsole, that make it a little bit heavy. If you didn't have issues with the weight on the Harden 7, you should be good on the Anthony Edwards 1 too. They are pretty much the same weight and they also feel very similar on court. But as I said, I actually like the Anthony Edwards a little bit more, which says a lot because the Harden 7 was one of my favorite shoes from last year. I had them at number 3 on my top 10 list of shoes that released in 2023. And I think I like these a little bit more. With that being said, That's all I have for you today on performance of the Anthony Edwards 1. In my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, first signature sneaker of all time, and definitely a contender for shoe of the year in 2024. Even though it's only the start of the year, we might have found the best shoe of the year already. That's how much I like them, and I can definitely recommend them, especially for the very, very good price point. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you like my content, and see you next time for more performance reviews of the newest basketball shoes.